Hey guys, I've had these headphones for quite some time now and I honestly don't know why I haven't reviewed them yet. These and their edition version played a very big role in me falling for hi-fi headphones. I guess it's time to talk about them now. If you like what I'm doing on my channel, a like, sub and share would be much appreciated. I'm Paul and these are the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pro. So I want to give a big shout out to a good friend and subscriber of the channel, Bob, for letting me borrow his Beyerdynamics for this video. So in the box you get the headphones, some literature, a carry pouch, and you get a 3.5 to 6.3 mm adapter that you can plug into a more serious amp. The headphones come with a steel headband with a soft faux leather around it, which sits quite comfortably around the top of your head. The band has a firm clamping force and these don't feel like they'll budge, like the edition version does sometimes. The ear cups are made of high quality plastic that have a nice feel and texture to them. Some people complain about the exposed wires getting in their way, but I've not really had an issue with these. Whether you're taking these off a headphone stand or off the table, they don't seem to get in the way really. You get velour ear pads, but they're more like cushions because they feel like clouds around your ears when you wear them. Another nice thing about the earphones is that over long listening sessions, they don't really heat up your ears like most closebacks would. The cable you get isn't detachable, so you can't really swap it out for any other different kind. It can extend up to 3 meters and kind of reminds me of old telephone cables because of the way it's coiled, and eventually it terminates to a 3.5 mm jack, which can take a 6.3 mm screw-on adapter. This pair in particular has fared pretty well. I think Bob's had these for about 5 years now. On a feature front, don't expect any microphones and ENC. Beyerdynamic has focused on sound and sound alone. These are open back headphones, so expect considerable sound leak inward as well as out. Let me show you. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Thanks to this design, they're able to give you a much wider soundstage, leading to significantly better and a much more enjoyable music experience compared to some closebacks. However, this will restrict you to listening to them indoors, maybe in a quiet listening room or a gaming room. This model's resistance comes in at 250 ohms. So if you plan on pairing these with your computer or your phone, their internal amps may not be powerful enough to drive these. If you own an external amp or a desktop amp or plan on investing in one of these, then you'll be able to drive these significantly better. These come loaded with a 45 mm dynamic driver. That's a squeak smaller than an entire wireless earphone. That's a pretty large driver which is able to push out frequencies as low as 5 Hz and as high as 35,000 Hz. And of course you can adjust the headband to your comfort spot and leave them there thanks to the grooves available for adjustments. Soundstage on any open back headphone is bound to leave you with an experience to remember. These have a space to them that, if you could measure, would most probably sit about 3 to 4 inches out of your head. If you've got your eyes closed like I do when you listen to music, there'll be times when you open them to see if somebody's walked into the room. These feel like they throw sound at you from much further away at times. High quality audio gives you a good sense of horizontal and vertical stage. After experiencing this, you realize why a lot of people prefer using these headphones for gaming. Imaging on these is quite distinct. It lets you focus in on specific instruments or vocals rather easily. In one particular track I was testing these, which I'll link below, a cello is being played in an open space, which starts off on the right channel, and the decay of those notes is cradled over to the left channel with utmost delicacy. It's so easy to follow that movement despite how softly it plays. If you've got these headphones and you can't hear that, you might need to upgrade to a more powerful amp. High frequencies from these are considered to be a bit too bright by many people, and it is certainly a little more accentuated compared to the rest of its frequencies. I didn't find these to be too excessive though, and they were kind of easy on the ears, but I can understand where listeners with solid state amps are coming from. I prefer listening to these on a tube amp. Sibilances aren't an issue, and I found that sparkles from some instruments don't come at you like daggers, but more like Nerf darts. This range of frequencies does present itself with good energy and speed, but doesn't introduce you to fatigue. Joe Morello playing his Zildjian 20-inch ride cymbal for take 5 doesn't nag at you, rather lures you deeper into the track. Mid frequencies are presented at a much flatter plane than the high frequencies. Vocals and instruments in this range have a natural and slightly warm tone. With some high-res recordings, the listening experience in this range puts you right in the studio with the artist. I'm a sucker for female vocals, and these do a terrific job with them. Speaking about vocals, Mozart's Requiem in D minor, Lacrimosa, swells with male and female vocals as well as strings. It has fantastic dynamics via a high-res audiophile, and these headphones don't struggle in dealing with over 5000 kbps. The end result of listening to a well-recorded track like that leaves you with goosebumps all over. Low frequencies have quite an extension, which is surprising for open backs. It's got substantial body over here. This range is emphasized, but only slightly. They manage to remain natural sounding and don't sound colored. Whether you're listening to blues, jazz, classical, EDM, or rock, this frequency range manages to deliver itself with utmost composure and ease. The separation between this range and any other range is very clearly defined. At no point does it interfere or impose with any other frequency. Listening to high-res recordings of Daft Punk's Random Access Memory album does put a smile on my face. You can really appreciate quality mastering of an album like this through great headphones like these. If you're into bass heavy music, this doesn't give you that thump you can almost feel. Rather, it caters towards quality and delivery of music than an exaggerated sound. Their overall delivery comes at you with dynamism and dimension thanks to how good their separation and imaging is. These are transparent and high resolution headphones. They're not as transparent as some higher end headphones can be, so if you're listening to an MP3 file or a high res FLAC, both will still sound relatively good. No doubt, if you listen to these on a phone or a desktop amp, you'll notice there's a significant difference to them. Do you need to really invest in an amp? It'll cost you some money, but it'll unlock the true potential of these headphones. Beyerdynamic made this model that quickly became a professional reference headphone in the mid-80s thanks to its wide frequency response. A classic that pushed itself into a modern space and still holds its ground firmly. You get hi-fi audio, quality German build at a very reasonable price that can cover all genres of music, making these the ultimate headphone gateway to the hi-fi world, which also makes this one of the best value for money products out there. You'll be able to make one of these your own for about 14,000 here in India. I'd only recommend you buy these from two sources. I am in no way associated or affiliated with them or Beyerdynamic. I'm just trying to point you guys in the right direction. Primarily, you should buy these from Headphone Zone, and secondly, you can buy these from Apparel Retail off of Amazon India. These are Beyerdynamic's only online authorized dealers for India. So it makes sense to buy from an authorized dealer because you also get the 2-year global warranty when you buy genuine. So thank you guys for watching and tuning in to Paul's POV for some sound advice. Build quality at a spit flew out. Is it recording?
Yes.
You didn't say anything.
Telling you to straighten your shoulders.
So this means recording or what?
This means straighten your shoulders, you're slouching.
God.